Hey guys, what's up? I figured before going to bed I might as well make another audio commentary. I was just browsing the replays uploaded, and I saw some replays of Remind versus Myth, and I saw they were pretty short, so I figured I might as well make another audio commentary before I go to bed. So therefore, we're going to get the game started. I don't want to make this too long, so let's start the Turtle Rock game. So I will put it in the audio file as game 1. And get it up to the 1 minute mark. And pause it there, please. And we're going to see Remind play against Myth for the Starswar Asian qualifiers. And this game will be in Turtle Rock, as I mentioned before, and it will feature Night Elf versus Human. And we will see Remind play a Warden on this map, and you will see why the Warden is generally bad on Turtle Rock, and what the things Remind did good and the things Remind did wrong. And you will see that Myth has some outstanding micro as well. So you should have the game at the 1 minute mark right now. We're going to switch to Remind's POV, and we're going to resume the game in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and resume. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about the Warden itself. The Warden is a hero with good spells like Fan of Knives or Shadow Strike. These spells are awesome, but only really become effective once they hit level 3. Once the Warden hits level 3, I'm sorry. And Turtle Rock isn't really a map where you can creep a lot. Therefore, the Warden is generally not a good hero choice on this map, because on maps like Terran Stand, Echo Isles, even Echo Isles, Melting Valley, you can just creep so much better and get your Warden leveled quicker. And on a close position, I think is not a good hero to have as well. I'd rather have a Demon Hunter with more, which is a more solid hero to defend against tower rushes. And if you take a look at the creeps on the map as well, you got these creeping giant sea turtles over here with turtle hatchlings, and you got some pretty good creeps in the middle with the gargantuan sea turtles. They're really hard to creep for Alfast. I mean, you can put an Engine of War with a lot of Wisp pairing, but that's really risky and something you really want to avoid. The thing Moon did though is he placed, when he spawned on the right hand side of where Remind spawned right now, he was able to make an Engine of War near the upper creep camp, and therefore he could creep that Goblin Merchant, and he could creep that rat camp as well. So that was a really great move there by Moon, but it can only work on that spawn, otherwise she will lure the creeps towards you. Now what Remind is doing right now, he finished off his first creep, he's going in for some harassment, but there isn't much he is able to do at this point. He also picked up a pretty useless item, Cloak of Shadows. The Warden can hide by itself. And Remind is building a second Ancient of War, and he will go for Mass Huntresses, which I also think is a pretty bad idea. This is a pretty good creeping map for Human. Human can creep relatively easily compared to Night Elf on this map, and you really don't want to make Huntresses with a low level hero, which doesn't have mana burn, versus an Archmage, which is easily leveled to level 3. Therefore, I wouldn't recommend playing Huntresses or Warden on this map, unless you get the spawn that Moon did. That's the upper right spawn. Or well, the bottom side of the map and the right spawn over there. I guess you know what I mean. And Remind is now, I don't know if he will sell his TP. Yeah, he will sell his TP and his Cloak of Shadows. Probably pick up Boots of Speed and Staff of Teleportation. But even in this moment, this isn't a really good move there by Remind. He's just letting Myth creep without any harassment. He would have been better off just staying near Myth, checking him out, and then eventually trying to steal some creep, because now when he arrives it will be way too late for him to do any significant damage. Myth also picked up a Tome of Experience. That's also bad for Remind, and now there are some units incoming, but there isn't really much that Remind is able to do at this moment. Unless his Warden would have been level 3, then Fan of Knives would have been good. Shadow Strike even, you could have picked Blink, Fan, Blink, Strike, everything. Every combination would have been good versus Human at least. So now he's got his stuffs around you. You're stuck with a low HP Warden, and there's really nothing you can do at this point versus with your level 1 hero versus a level 3 hero with Water Elementals, which deal a shitload of damage versus your units. Level 2 water elementals deal 31 to 39 damage against. They just deal 31 to 39 damage, and huntresses have the unarmored armor type. Pretty stupid that they still call it an armor type though, but that means they will take a lot of extra damage from piercing damage, which the water elementals do. So I really do not want to make huntresses versus this. I mean, Remind can kill off a few things over here. He could get the archmage damage, but there isn't really much he could do unless he could score an archmage kill, but that isn't going to happen. The archmage is just going to TP to safety, and there's fairly nothing Remind can do in this situation. I mean, the warden could have been a good choice if he was able to do some harassment, or the warden could have worked if he was able to do some harassment if he was there when Myth was creeping, but unfortunately for Remind, he arrived way too late at the scene, and it's pretty much impossible for him to deal any significant damage right here. So my advice to you guys is don't play Warden on Turtle Rock. There are many other better options. Even Dark Ranger I think is better. Now Remind is trying to make some towers in the back, but Myth notices already. He knew it that Remind was going to tower when you see this amount of hunts. So it's very I have to say it's pretty weak play by Remind. Or well, it's not really his play. His micro is great, but more of his strategy choice. I think the Warden is as a hero meant to be crapped. It's not that awesome for instant harassment, and even if you do manage to get it to level 3, your mana will most likely be depleted once you finally get there. But now you see Remind bringing some Wisp from his base to detonate on these water elementals, which is of course a good move because they are the biggest threat to Remind's army, even more so than the towers. And Remind is trying to take out this Archmage here by Myth, but this is some great micro Myth is showing. And of course, can't expect everyone to micro like this, but really great play here by Myth. I think that definitely helped in this game. Perhaps if the Archmage died over here, it would have been a lot harder for Myth to defend against this push without his water elementals. But on the other hand, I think let's take a look at Myth. Myth's gold. Yeah, he's got plenty of gold. Would have just instant revived the Archmage at the tavern and would have killed, and also he could have brought a shitload of militia, which he's doing right now. And this seals the game. Myth wins, Remind calls good game. So we're not going to waste any time, and we're going to start game 2, which is the game on, I have to peek myself, I don't know, which is the game on Echo Isles, and it will also feature a Warden, and it's another really short game, so please get it fast forwarded to the 1 minute mark. And pause it there. And this is also not that great of a map for Warden, or at least it used to be, but nowadays it's getting more and more popular to play Warden on Echo Isles against both undead or human. So it's pretty interesting to see. Oh fuck, I skipped the 1 minute mark and 1 minute 8. I'm going to restart it. So as I was saying, in the past you didn't really get to see a lot of Warden usage on this map, aside from Satini, who was then the innovative Warden player. Okay, I'm at 1 minute. And if you take a look at what's happening, you can see Remind building an Ancient of War over at the mercenary camp. You can